What's up, guys? We have a dragon tournament going on right now where the top reward is a prism shard. Now, this is kind of comparable to a sacred shard because the drop rates are the same. Now, of course, you can't save it for a summon rush, all that kind of good stuff, but it's still something worth going for in a tournament that I think is a pretty solid one because we do have 3x speed event. Sorry, yeah, actually 3x speed. I was thinking maybe it was 2x, but it is 3x speed event going on. So Dragon Stage 10 hard is gonna be where you want to push. Now, I typically don't like dropping too low if your account is in a spot to actually do stage 10 hard, but in this situation, if you aren't able to hit the stats needed for 10 hard, definitely just drop back down to 6 hard. If we take a quick look over at the Hell Hades stages tool, you can actually see that for stage 10 hard of Dragon, the needed stats are going to be, let's take a look. So the speed of the Dragon, the waves are going to be difficult, but the speed is 250. The accuracy is 330. You need 435 resistance and 345 accuracy to place your debuffs. Now, with that said, if we drop this down to stage 6 hard, you're going to see the Dragon is a much lower speed, 100 speed less, much lower accuracy and resistance needs as well. You would need 285 accuracy and 375 resistance. Now, take all that into consideration when I show you my two teams. The first team I want to show you guys is a team that's going to be more accessible, which is this one right here. Now remember, this is stage 10 hard. So while these champions are going to be pretty high in powered and blessings, you do not need that. What you do need is a wave clear champion to get you to the Dragon, some mix of champions, decreased defense for the waves, good AoE damage, whatever that may be to get you to the Dragon. And then when you get to the Dragon, you have a few options. Max HP, poisons, HP burn activation are typically the best things to kill the Dragon. If you have a champion like Islin with a very high blessing, you could just throw a brimstone blessing on him and let him probably solo the Dragon. I don't have that on this account, so I'm not able to showcase it. So as far as the champions you could use just for a wave clear option, a Thorion of course would be amazing. Yannica could be built to do very good wave clear Royal Huntsman. Potentially he has some AoE skills, right? This A2 ability. Basically you're just looking for some AoE damage. Royal Guards don't need to be Royal Guards. It's just what I have at a good star soul, so it's easier to build those stats pretty high. Now, as far as the actual builds on Royal Guards go, I have them fairly fast, 250, speed tuned with the team, so one's going to go when the Tyrell does the decreased defense, and then one's going to go when the Arbiter does the increased attack. I'll show you the presets in just a moment, but 253, good crit damage, good attack. Don't really care about the accuracy for him. He does bring a decreased defense, but doesn't really matter that much because Tyrell is bringing the same thing. I do have Crushing Rend on him. If you don't have Crushing Rend, that's no problem. You could go Cruelty. It's going to be very good as well. Of course, if you want to throw on a Relic, you can. You can throw on a Malefic Talon. Anything that's going to give you extra crit damage is going to be fantastic. For his masteries, I just have Flawless Execution. Pretty simple stuff. Very easy build to understand. Speed, 100% crit rate. Get a bunch of defense ignore. Good attack, crit damage. Typical nuker build. The second Royal Guard is going to be a bit slower, depending on your champion speeds, just whatever lines up. We have similar crit damage, similar attack. I do have a Malefic Talon on him, a lot of defense ignore stuff, so Savage plus Cruel. And then I'm looking for some sustainability, some type of support. Arbiter works perfect for this. She's in a shield set for some extra sustainability. We have her at a okay speed of 293. Really nothing special about this build. She's just there to revive the champions if they fall. Technically, she'd be better off with more resistance, but this is where she's currently at. Very simple setup, no relics, blessings, intimidating presence. Would be better with Brimstone for this specific, but I'm not going to change that around. And then she has War Master. For Tyrell, we have War Master. We have Crushing Rend. Doesn't need to be that. Cruelty would probably be better. No relic, simple build, speed, fast enough to go before one of the Royal Guards, placing that decreased defense at a good time so the Royal Guard can nuke into a pretty weak wave essentially. And then for this run, I'm using Elenaril as essentially the boss soloing champion. So the best bet is to either clear everything fast, which will be team number 2 I show you guys, and I'm going to show you all a solo option as well in case you want to do that. But the best bet is going to be either a fast run where you just clear everything, drop the boss, everything's good, or an option where you get to the boss, you essentially escort a champion who can solo the boss to the boss. Unfortunately, High Elves doesn't have that many champions who can do that, unless you have like a 5 or 6 star blessing. A 5 or 6 star blessing is going to allow you to place Brimstone pretty frequently, which is going to help out the run significantly. But in this case, Elenaril is the best poison champion and HP burn champion that I have. So I'm just using her to get to the boss, place her poisons, do her burns, have her in regeneration, good defense. We have a lot of speed on her. The speed does not need to be that high. Golden elixir just to help manage her HP a bit better. But overall, it's once again a fairly simple build. We have enough resistance to resist the boss for stage 10 hard, good amount of accuracy, and the run's going to go pretty smoothly. So if we jump over into the run, not spider, but dragon, to see how this plays out, I want to show you guys this one, and then I'll show you this team right here, which is the speed version of it. So this one, the presets that I'm currently using have the Royal Guards doing their A2 abilities at different times. So the fast one does his on the first wave, doesn't do it on the second, and then on the third is number 1 priority. These are the stats with the area bonuses in play. Royal Guard number 2 is not going to use it on the first wave, does use it on the second wave, and then prioritizes it on the third wave. Tyrell, these are his presets. He's basically helping out the slower, weaker Royal Guard for the wave 2 with the decreased defense. And then wave 3 for Tyrell is opening with the decreased attack. Arbiter, let's actually not use the res at all. And then we'll have her, open with this ability and then save the res for a little bit later. Unfortunately, her res just goes off even if there's no allies to be revived, but there's nothing you can do about that. And then Elenaril, I have her stuff turned off on wave 1 and wave 2, and then wave 3, she can do whatever. Now, if you're taking these stats and you're going to drop them back to stage 6 hard, you could essentially lower these speeds by 50 plus, no problem. Because remember, the dragon on stage 10 hard is going to be 250 speed. On stage 6 hard, it's 150 speed. So the dragon is 100 speed lower. So if this Elenaril looks too difficult, you could probably drop her back to 250, 225, 230, and she'd probably still be doing fantastic. All you need her to do is survive the hits, get her debuffs up, she's going to be fine. For her masteries, I believe I had resistance masteries, but you could switch that to oppressor, boost her turn meter fill based on the debuff she has. You could extend the duration of her debuffs. There's all kinds of things you could do that would also work for this. But all it is escorting a team to the boss, get to the boss, have a champion who could solo the boss if everybody else dies. It's far easier to do that than try to keep a full team alive. Keeping a full team alive is pretty difficult sometimes, especially because you have to build everybody with high resistance, and it's just not realistic. High resistance on all these champs is just very difficult to do. But just focusing on one champion, high resistance, regeneration, the only thing you have to really worry about is the dragon's breath ability. That's going to do a percentage of your HP. But if you have the elixir of life, that's going to kind of pad that a little bit. And then you have a fairly quick run that's going to drop a quad roll shield possibly. It does not. Maybe it's a triple roll though. It'd be pretty sweet. No, it's not. We're just going to sell that. So this is going to be the stage 10 hard run. That's going to be more of a speed run. Don't let these numbers, these +3 6-star blessings get to you, because honestly, you do not need that. You just got to clear the waves, get to the boss, things will be fine. Now, if you want to go a bit more of a speed option, this is going to be where you want to look. This is Royal Guard, same setups as before with everybody else. Fina, I have her turned off on the second wave so that on the third wave, she can use these to actually reset the Royal Guards, hopefully. And then Arbiter, she really doesn't need to use her res at all. I'll just leave it as it is. This one, it's not going to be significantly faster than that other run. To be honest, that other run is actually quite fast. Fina doesn't need to use the block damage on that first wave, to be honest. She could have just saved it, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. Royal Guard could be beefed up a little bit to one-shot this wave, make the run faster as well, but it's going to be right around a minute. It should be very consistent. If it wasn't, I could just throw in Elenaril, and it'd be perfectly fine. Elenaril places some poisons may actually be the best way anyways, but the Brimstone's going to do the biggest chunk of damage. I mean, it basically does an A2 ability from Royal Guard and damage when the dragon takes a turn. So it is a big chunk of damage. Fina here, resetting the Royal Guards, is going to help me make this run much quicker. And of course, if we get a decreased defense placed by Tyrell, it's going to help Royal Guard's other skills quite a bit also. Or Royal Guards, they can place the decreased defense also. And then right here, we get the A2, boom, and we drop the dragon in right around a minute. If we had Brimstone proc, it'd be even faster. Now here, another chance at some good speed gear. Quad roll, please. Maybe. No. Triple, possibly. Probably not. No. All right, well, we upgraded 2 pieces, empty on both of them. Not a huge deal. Now, if you want to do solo stuff, you can. I'll show you guys a quick solo on stage 20. Very simple. Literally just throw a beefed up roller guard in there. You've already seen this roller guard stats, but this at 6-star is going to be able to drop the waves very quickly with Crushing Rend. But even without Crushing Rend, you're going to do a lot of damage to the boss. Yes, much less than if you had Crushing Rend, but if you get a good relic on him, make him hit hard, he's going to basically 2-shot this boss. Or get very close to it, right? The damage you're going to deal is just going to be crazy. Especially if you have decreased defense on the boss. I mean, 1.2 million damage. Normal, stage 20, isn't going to be capped by any max HP limits, so you're going to be fine there. I personally would not do this if you can do hard mode, just because normal stages with 3x speed, I mean, it's better than no 3x speed, but if you can do hard mode, do hard mode. The chance at getting the mythical drops is the chance at getting an insane piece of gear. I had a clanmate of mine this morning pick up a crazy piece of gear. Let me see if I can open this up real quick and show you guys. Basically, he got a quintuple speed roll on a speed set shield, I think it was. It was like 32 speed, which is just nuts. And you can't get that from normal. You're not going to get any mythical pieces. So do the highest stage you can. Get a team that's consistent most of all, and then try to speed it up. Essentially just go for an escort through the waves, and then on the boss, have some nuke it down pretty quickly. Matter of fact, maybe this is the best option. Maybe an Elenaril on the boss is what I truly need. So what I'll do here is just say, okay, the reason why I have this A3 turned off is because I don't need her to activate the poisons. For this speed team, this may actually make sense, but for the other team, it doesn't make sense. The dragon's going to take its turns and activate its poisons on its own. With this team, it's a bit different because I'm going for the speed clear. So having the poison activation will be better because the dragon's not going to be taking as many turns, basically. Here, I could even have Finer reset again on the waves because I really don't want that champion taking a turn at all. But this could be probably around 45 seconds or less, I'd say. If everything went correct. It's the same tune for the other run anyways, so that's no problem. Elnaril's built the same for both. She obviously missed one of her poisons just then, so that's a bit unfortunate. If we get some Brimstone placings, that would be really good. Got a Brimstone plus HP burn. And then get some poisons going off. There we go. Finer resets. Maybe. Onto Elenaril. Not quite. But she's set to solo, so if the team was to fail, well, Elenaril's there to finish it off. So we got 1 minute and 2. Could definitely be a bit faster. Could maybe switch up some more stuff, but I'm happy with this run. I'm going to run this, pick up the 2100 points for the Prism Crystal, hopefully pick up a crazy champion. Of course, if you have a Thorion, this could be even faster. He's like 2 roller guards in one team, basically. Very, very strong champion. He's just the win button, basically. Places block debuffs. I think he has a decreased attack as well. AoE stuff. He's just so good. He makes your run super fast. But this is a good, consistent run, especially if you have Fina. Even if you don't have Fina, this is a very solid run in general. I will adjust this most likely a little bit to make sure it's 100% consistent. And it really should be with Elenaril on the team, honestly. Elenaril plus Fina should be able to handle it very well. I could bump her up in the team position so that she gets those resets from Fina as well. But her at this point, it should be fine. Either way, guys, thank you all very much for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe, leave a comment, all that kind of good stuff. Let me know what team you're using if you're doing this event. I want to see how this run goes now that everybody else is kind of falling apart. Does Elenaril in fact stay alive, or does she just fall? I think she stays alive fine. Counterattack, boom. Put some poisons up. We're going to survive quite well here. Above 50% HP, poisons and brimstone, and there we go. It's slower without Arbiter, but either way, build that team, good luck in the event, hope you get something amazing from your Prism pool, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.